3. We had done part 1. We looked at what Christian giving is and why should we give, and to what causes can we give to. Then we looked at also the last Sunday, we looked at the giving as regard the Old Testament teaching and New Testament teaching. We looked at last Sunday 3 great principles regarding money and possession, of which we said number 1 was that God owns all things. Number 2, all things come from God. And number 3, what we and all we have belong to God. And then we moved on to talk about Old Testament, look at Old Testament and the New Testament. And we also had emphasis on tithing yesterday, or last Sunday, trying to put to rest some of the unnecessary arguments about whether tithing is Old Testament practice or New Testament practice. And then we found out that people make such arguments when there is greed in their hearts. We saw that tithing predated the law. Abraham tithed, Jacob tithed. These were things that happened about 400-500 years before the law on tithing was given. And the person to whom Abraham tithed was Melchizedek, a typology, a type of Christ. And then Jacob tithed to God himself, and none of that. God didn't reject it, neither did Melchizedek turn it down. And then God formally commanded his children to now make that as an ordinance. And in the what we call the New Testament, in the New Testament, we saw that Jesus himself also did not condemn it. And rather he said, he was talking to the Pharisees and called them hypocrites. They were very good in paying tithes of everything, even to the last thing. And yet they forgot the weightier matters of the Lord, justice, mercy, and faith. And Jesus Christ was angry with them. In Matthew 23, verse 23, he said, you should do these things, weightier matters of the Lord. He said, you tithe, your cumin, your anise, your that, and you forget the weightier matter. This you must do, not forgetting to leave the order undone. So look at that. So he said, this you must do, but do not also forget to tithe. That's exactly what Jesus is saying. So if Jesus himself said it, I don't know what other argument people are engaging into. We saw it, and so, but the point is that there are other things that we need to know about giving. So today we'll be looking at the principles of giving. How do we grow in this grace of giving? Number 1, we are to find out that God gave us everything. Therefore, if we are to give to God, then we must give him our lives first. You must give yourself first to God. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 5. 2 Corinthians 8, verse 5. Paul was speaking about the Macedonian Christians, and he says that, and this they did, not as we hoped, but first gave their own selves to the Lord, and unto us by the will of God. So that is the sequence. There was a giving of self unto God. They gave themselves first to God, and then they now give their offerings. So we found out that the very first principle of giving and growing in giving is that we must give ourselves first unto the Lord. It is important to understand that you can bring your tithe to the church and the church will receive it. And also that offering you gave to the church may not be blessed by God. Why? Because if your person is repugnant to God, if your person is rejected, if God rejects you, he will reject your offering. But we may not know whether God has rejected you or not. So if you bring it here, we'll collect it. We'll use it to do the work of God. But he who records and who rewards, your account will be empty. And that is why it is very important we understand that. A lot of people will give their life, give everything, and yet they will die and go to hell because they never made peace with God. In matter of giving, what God rewards is actually our motives. I hope you know that. Now, we saw 2 men in Genesis who came to God to give an offering. The one was Cain, the other was what? Abel. And then Cain offered unto God out of the things and the fruits of the land. Abel brought the things from his own, he was a shepherd. We have had people who have made arguments, say, well, Cain brought things that did not have blood in it. So Abel brought what had blood. So he made a sacrifice and God accepted it. He brought, some people say, well, he brought yams that were termite eating. Others said, well, Abel brought the fattest of the things. Well, we don't know so much to that, but if we look at what God, the Lord himself said to Cain and Abel, or rather to Cain, when Cain was angry that his brother, he killed his brother, and the Lord said to him, if you did well, would you not have been accepted? And it is very instructive to discover that the Bible says that God had respect unto Abel and his offering, but unto Cain and his offering, the Lord had no respect. All right? So it is very important that we understand that. Now, that is Genesis chapter 4. Genesis chapter 4. Verse 1. Okay, let's read from verse 2. Verse 3. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect. Look at that. And the Lord had respect unto Abel's offering. Is that what is there? Is that what is there? You are looking at it on the screen and you have it in your Bible. Did he say, and the Lord had respect unto Abel's offering? What is there? The Lord had respect unto who? Abel. And there is a conjunction there. It is the respect that the Lord had for Abel, the acceptance the Lord had unto Abel, that now led to, and his what? Offering. But look at the next verse now. Verse 5. But unto Cain and his offering, he had no respect. So there was a rejection of his person first. And when God rejects you, no matter what you come with, he will not take it from you. The church, we can collect it. But if God rejects your person, so that is why some people will say, I gave so much, I planted so much, I am a tither, I am this, I am that, Why are these calamities coming upon me? Why? Because there is no protection over your life. Yes, you shall have the blessings of sowing and reaping. When whoever that sows shall reap is a natural principle that God is, a universal principle of seed, faith, and harvest time. Whoever gives shall be given. That is the truth. Whether you are a Christian or not, is a principle that the Lord himself has ensured. It works for everybody. But when it comes to God having regard for the offerings that you bring, that he puts his blessings on it, God must first of all receive you as an individual, as a person. It was because of that. Now, if you go back to that Genesis chapter 4, you will discover that Cain was not angry. Verse 6, verse 5. Verse 5, but unto Cain and of his offerings he had no respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Look at verse 6 now. The Lord now came in. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? Why is thy countenance fallen? Verse 7, move on. If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? Did he say, will your offering not be accepted? If you have done well, if you have lived well, would you not have been accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over it. And yet, after this warning, he still went on and killed his brother. You see, God saw the wickedness in the heart of Cain. God sees the beginning from the end and the end from the beginning. He has an exhaustive, comprehensive, and inexhaustible knowledge. Comprehensive, exhaustive, and inexhaustible knowledge. Complete knowledge. This great God, he knows. He said, if you do well, would you not have been accepted? So the first thing that we do is to offer ourselves unto God. So the first gift God wants from us is ourselves. The other is, first, give yourself to God. And then give a portion of that which he has given to you. When you give God your heart, everything you owe belongs to him. You will realize that he owns all. But when you refuse to give him, you say, Ngwa, take this part, let me take this part. That was why that song say, I put you in front. Because the guy, GUC, who sang the song, is a musician. So he said, in front of my melody, so you can put your own. Mine is ministry. I do sing it. I say, I put you in front of my ministry. You are all that matter. So that's your profession. He is a singer. He said, I am putting you in front of my melody, in front of my profession, my career. You are all that matter. I make room for one. You alone, Jesus. So when we give him all, he has all. There is no provision for more than one. Where the problem comes is when we make provision for 2, for 3, for 4. Then there will be a competition going on in our heart and in our lives. Who controls what? He deserves all. So when we give him our lives first, then we can offer unto him of that things of which he has given unto us. Number 2, we are to give regularly. Giving is not what we just do, you just give once in a while. Give now today, tomorrow you don't give. You say, well, today we have given so much, there's no point, we'll give another day, When you realize who called you and who made you, when you discover that it is not your smartness and your intellect that had given you the favors you have received. There were those that entered school the same time with you. Some of them are not even near where you are. Yes, there may be those who may have become professors who might be ahead of you. But there are those who are not even near where you are at all. There was a story that was told about a man who was tired of life. And he was so angry that he wanted to kill himself. He went up to the tree. He had only moi moi. They say when he finished eating this moi moi, he would just die. So he climbed the tree where he wanted to hang himself. The noose was already hung there. So right there up, he just unwrapped the moi moi and began to eat. He finished eating it and saying, so the one you have in your stomach, that's why they carry and they go. So he finished eating the thing and dropped the wrap. And then while he finished that, he was now trying to put his head on the noose. As he was doing that, his eyes went down. He saw down there at the foot of the thing, a man picked up that wrap and was licking it. The wrap that he has carefully removed the crumbs even inside there. Somebody picked up the wrap and was licking the wrap and was even singing songs and was happy that he can find something to lick. Yet this one who ate the whole of the moi moi was up there and complaining. He looked down and tried to see, is he seeing vision or what? He said, no, I will not kill myself again. At least there is somebody I am better than. And then he came down from there. It was a story. But there is a lesson in it. We must understand that the blessings of God is all around us. So we must make giving a regular thing in our lives. It is not, your own is not the worst. Don't think that it is worse in your house. There are people you are better than. Amateur who are judge, is it not? A lot of people you see, they are tying wrapper, wearing big clothes. You don't know what they are going through in their house. There may be persons that you see, you are asking them for money. You don't know that if they tell you their own story, you will give them that one you have in your pocket. But it's true. So why are you complaining? That's why you can't give. No, we must learn to give and to appreciate God. Give regularly. Give to people around you. Give to people in need. Give to your siblings. Give to your parents. Give to the church. Give to community. Give to people. When there is a need in the community and you can solve the problem of a community, why do you want to wait until there is a contribution that is made? Solve the problem. In a home where you are the one making the money, why do you want to wait until the other partner has brought money? Solve the problem. There's a problem before you and you can solve it. let us learn to give regularly to the different things we can give to and give to God. Number 3, we must learn to give on worship days. On worship days like today, on Wednesdays, on Fridays, even when you have your fellowship meetings. We had our crossover, 31st crossover night prayers. How many of us prayed? Had our families, as the Lord Bishop directed, we should gather and pray on 31st night at 11. All right, thank you very much. How many of us also took offerings as he directed? Very few of us. See, please, it's very important that we learn. Give on worship days. When you pray, it's a worship time. Offer unto the Lord. Learn it to give, and let us teach our children to give good offerings. I remember giving my children some money. I think it was either 100 naira or so. And the boy or the girl said, "No, Daddy, no, give me that one you are holding." You know the difference. I was holding 500 naira. And I said, "You take this one. You take this 200. He said, no, give me this one. I will not take this one. Give me this one." Why? Give me. I said, "Okay, fine." And I gave it to him. And I bought another 500 naira to give to God. So we must learn. Teach our children to give to God and to learn to give. We must give when we give regularly. When our children see us help people in need, help the poor, train the orphan, help the widow, they will learn it. They will see Daddy does it, Mommy does it. People come to your house and they go, and you have food in the house. They go home empty, hungry, no food. You can't even offer water. You can't even offer drink. It's very important that we learn it. Giving regularly. Give on worship days. And I want to stop on this 4th one. We must give as God has prospered us. Give as God has prospered you. 1 Corinthians chapter 16 verse 2. Each one of you should set aside a sum of money in keeping with his income as God has prospered him. We are to give according to the prosperity of the Lord. He said, upon the first day of the week, like today, let every one of you lay by him in store, as God has prospered him, that there may be no gathering when I come. We are to give according to the blessings and the favors and the prosperity of the Lord upon our lives. Can I tell you something? If we all members of this congregation give according to the prosperity of God on our lives, there will not be need for multiple offerings. No. If we give our tithes adequately and give our offerings as God has prospered us, we will not have need for this offering, that offering. The reason there are too many offerings in church is because we don't know how to give. You collect it from this side, collect it from this side, collect it from this side. We don't know how to give. When we become givers, people who learn and who have not, what is called planned giving. Instead of splitting that offering into so many parts, you know that at the end of every Sunday, you give 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 in a Sunday. Package it in an envelope. Once a time, you drop it once. 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira. It is not bad. There are Sundays I give more than that here in this church. Because some of you worship only in one of the services. We worship in the 3 services. If you don't see us putting offering when you enter, you would not know that we have given in the other services too. Say, these people, these pastors, they know they give offering. No, I can't. But I don't give because of what you will say. No, I give because I love God. He has blessed me in several ways. I can't count it. We must learn to give as God has prospered us. That widow in the Bible who gave a mite, that many of us say, I know I have given my widow's mite. Let me explain the widow's mite to you. That offering, as the service was going on, it was time for offering. Jesus carried chair, went and sat down and was looking into the offering box, what people were giving. If as you are coming to offering now, I carry chair and sit down and I'm looking inside what you're giving, you say, what is this? What type of embarrassment is this? Which kind of pastor be this one now? Jesus did it. He knew them. He knew he is God. He knew how he had blessed them and prospered them. So he was watching how they were giving. And they all gave. And after giving, he told his disciples, you see, there is this widow who gave a mite. She had given the best. She gave the highest offering. He said, no, now, Oga. How did they talk like that? Chief Omimbojuwan gave 1 million naira. In that offering bag, it's heavy. The thing with the heavy there are dollar and pounds. It is Chief Okorojo Krafo. Obobu Cherobi 1. He was the one who gave it. And the Lord said, well, all of them, they all gave out of the abundance of what they had. But you see this woman, out of her poverty, she gave all.